Hi, and welcome to another episode of Millennial Media. I'm your host, Bree McLemore, and today I'll be interviewing Lindy winner Haley Heitzman from Francis Howell Central High School, along with one of her teachers, Michelle McCune. I'd like to first welcome Haley Heitzman. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so tell me what year you are, first of all.
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, and so what made you want to get into digital art / animation?
Just a class graphic design. It was one of the units, animation.
Really? So
Yes.
was there anything in there that made you really want to do it, that you loved about it?
I guess I just loved it while I was doing the project. I was always interested in animation, even though I never did it.
Yeah.
I was just really excited about it. And yeah, that's about it.
Now, which came first, like digital art, or do you do a little bit of film, or is it mostly digital art?
It's mostly digital art.
Oh, okay.
The only film I ever made was the one that I entered
Into the
here.
Lindy's. Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, so what systems do you use in your classes?
Mostly Photoshop, sometimes Illustrator.
Yeah? So which one do you like better?
Photoshop.
Yeah, for sure? Yeah. What do you not like about Illustrator?
The only thing I don't like about Illustrator is I'm not as good with the tools because I haven't done it as much, and I feel like you can do a lot more in Photoshop.
Yeah, so I saw two of your pieces. You had one that was with the water and it looks like a pool, but the sky's in the background. How long did that take you?
That actually took me the most time because it was my first one. I took a picture. It was at St. Martin when I was on a cruise with my friends and family, and it was the ocean, not a pool, but I photoshopped like some planets in the sky. It was just, I feel like the main purpose of that project was to work with the tools more, and it just turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And like I was telling you earlier, I did a project like that, and it did not turn out half as amazing as yours did. It's not easy, and for your first project, that's pretty great. So you can only go up from there.
Yeah.
But your second one, you actually worked with Illustrator too, with your Coke bottle and your romper from Charlotte Russe.
Yeah. It was, I did Photoshop for most of, because if you see behind the typography, there's different like colors.
Yeah.
And I just did Photoshop for all the editing. The only thing I used Illustrator for was the typography, and that the words don't mean anything. It's just,
Yeah, it's just the words that come in with the type, right?
Yes.
It's like the Latin or something, because I've done typography too, and it's, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me, but I never took a Latin class in my life, so. Yeah. But which, with your Photoshop, how long have you been doing Photoshop for?
Just the beginning of this year. I never used it. Yeah.
Yeah? How long have you been doing Illustrator? Probably less time?
Yeah. We started Photoshop in the beginning of the year, and then Illustrator, I think, was like one of the second or third unit.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So do you guys have the whole Adobe Creative Cloud at your school?
I think so, yeah. We have
something like that?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, my school has that. This Lindenwood does, but my high school didn't. So that is really cool. Like I was telling you earlier, Francis Howell has really just amazing programs. I've talked to all the kids from different schools, and you guys really, you've stepped it up for high schools. Like, you guys are going to know everything. By the time you get here, you're going to be able to skip classes and just graduate as soon as you get here. So that's really cool. Yeah, you really will. You'll be fine, because the Creative Cloud is so difficult, I really think, especially with Photoshop. So you have a class, but do you have any clubs or anything that you guys do?
Not clubs, just for digital art and film. I don't think, at least. There is an AHS, and I'm in that, and it's an open studio.
Oh, okay.
I've used the computer lab a couple of times for different projects for graphic design, but it's mainly just fine arts, as in painting and drawing. You just get 2 hours, and I think it's every Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, okay.
If that's anything.
Yeah. So is the class that you're taking, is that the only class you have, or do you have like a whole curriculum of classes that you guys can do?
Well, graphic design is probably the one most, with Photoshop and also animation. I think multimedia does some Photoshop. That's a business class. I don't
well, you don't have to know the whole. You don't have to know the whole catalog. I was just wondering. I was like, oh, maybe they have more, which is really cool. Just because a lot of high schools that, well, my high schools didn't have anything like that. So for you guys to just have a graphic design class is really cool, because it helps open the arts a little bit more than just theater, music, instruments, all that stuff, which is really cool. So you submitted something to the Lindy's. It is called, in French, it's The World is Precious, right?
Yes.
Yeah? So with animation, what made you want to do that?
I think what made me want to do it was I was working on another project, and it just wasn't coming together at all. And I think it's a 3D puzzle, what the animation was, and mainly my mom did it a long time ago. And it's just always been sitting in our kitchen, and I was like, wonder if I could make a stop motion out of this. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. And
That's really cool.
And we just changed my project and spent like 2 nights just taking apart a world.
Really? 2 nights? That's a lot of time. Like, oh my gosh. And so did you just take pictures of it and then put it into a film?
Basically.
Or was it kind of different with the animation stuff?
Well, my mom just, like, she held up a blanket in the background.
Oh, she held it the whole time?
We didn't have anything to, like, lay it down on so it would look nice. And we had one of those tripods from school and a camera because Miss McCune let me bring it home.
That's cool.
And I would just take a few pieces off of the puzzle and take a picture. That's all it was.
Yeah, so then how'd you put it together? Like, what, did you use like an editing system of some sort?
Yeah, on the computer at school I used iMovie to put everything together. And if you notice it, like, it's the world and then it disintegrates and then
it turns and then it disintegrates and then...
I think it's getting built and then it disintegrates.
You got it. You know it better than me.
But since she was holding it, the lighting kept changing, so I had to like go in and color everything like around the world on Photoshop.
Oh man,
on
color
every
correction
slide.
is the worst. Oh my gosh, it looked amazing. Like it looked like it was done in one take. So
yeah, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. So how did it feel to win a Lindy from it? Like that must have been cool.
It felt nice because I didn't think I would since I kind of changed my project and I didn't have as much time as most people. But I'm glad I did.
Yeah? Would you suggest the Lindys to other kids? Would you say like, hey, do this?
Yeah, I just think that they're fun to make.
Especially if it's like submitting your own work and you really are excited to see and you got to go up there and win a Lindy. And that thing is like metal, so that's cool. Because my school gave plastic awards and I was like, okay. But the Lindys are cool. Like they're super cool.
I think they are.
We're going to take a look at the Lindy Award winning video Haley made. So like I said, that was amazing. I really liked it. What inspired you to have the name in French?
Probably because I didn't really know what to name it, and I'm in French, and I was trying to, not necessarily a storyline, but have some sort of purpose for the video, and I was like, that's decent.
Yeah.
And also my teacher, she said, you might want to add like a quote or something, because it looks like, I don't know, it looks kind of deep.
Yeah,
So
it really does.
like,
It's like the world's built and it falls apart and you're like, what does it mean? Like,
and then I didn't want it to just say the world is precious, so I just changed it.
Yeah.
I'm mixing an accent mark on one of them because I couldn't figure out how to.
It's hard on typing and type tools and certain editing things. They won't let you do it unless you like copy and paste it from like Google.
And I did, and it just it didn't look right. The font was too small, and I couldn't change it.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's okay.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I mean, it really does. Especially because it took you 2 nights to do it. So, but what made how many not interviews? How many animations have you done?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Just that one?
Yes.
So you want to do more after that?
Actually, yeah. The only videos I used to ever make is me and my friends. We used to have iPods and we made like short horror films.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I used to do that all the time. Oh my gosh, mine were too. I watched them. I was like, oh my god, my voice is the worst thing in the world.
I want to find them one day though.
Oh yeah, I made a YouTube page, so it's all on there. And I want to delete the YouTube page, but I don't even know what the password is anymore. So it's on there forever.
Horrible.
Yeah, but it's fun. I'm glad you liked film too. So, but what else do you like to do?
I've always been really into art. I draw all the time. Animation and film and digital art, like I said, I just started this year. But I'm getting really into like video making.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Are there any classes that you're thinking about taking?
Next year, I don't know if there's any just for videos. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
I don't
it's
know.
hard. I mean, you probably just want to be summer break, right? That's all you're thinking about?
Definitely.
Yeah. So have you taken any classes with Michelle?
Yeah, I'm in one of hers right now, graphic design, and it's going to change to digital art and design.
Oh, okay.
And I think
Okay.
that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I think it's like a huge curriculum change. That's what she said.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what made you get into art by itself instead of digital art, since you just started this year, but what made you want to get into art altogether?
I've always been drawing. I don't remember. I just always do. It's just it's just something
I
do a lot.
understand. You just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because everybody used to ask me what made you get into theater. I'm like, I just like to play dress up. I don't remember when. It was just a thing that I did.
Yeah.
So, but no, it makes sense. Sometimes it just comes to you and you really like it. So, but your photography or you did take a photo, but your Photoshop and your illustrating things that you're doing are so great, and that you're only a sophomore. That's really, really cool. So, are you thinking about anything for college yet?
I know I want to do something in the art field for college. I don't know if it's going to be digital art. I have no idea. I just know I want to be in the art field.
Of course.
Yeah. I have some time.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to be when you grow up? Is that something I can ask you?
I've changed what I wanted to be so many times. I was always even when I was younger, I always thought it would be cool to like help out on sets of movies and stuff like that. I'm not sure though.
No, I understand. Are there any artists that inspire you whenever you draw and stuff?
Not really. I know of some artists.
Yeah.
I definitely like older artists though. I feel like a lot of modern art is just not the best. And,
Really? Man, I love it. It doesn't make sense to me, and that's why I love it. Like, this is a ball. I just love it.
I get that, but I like a lot of more realism.
Yeah.
And older artists, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like Monet a lot, even though like you have to like look really close and then be far away to figure out what it is, but it's just pretty to me. So.
Yeah. I was really into like realistic drawing for a long time. Now I've been trying to do more abstract to change it up, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Are they all up on your mom's fridge? Are they all up there?
I have some paintings around our house. Not on the fridge.
No,
I don't think so.
No, I mean they might be too big for the fridge, definitely.
know.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations again on your Lindy. It was very much deserved. So up next, I will be talking with Michelle McCune about her teaching experience. Stay tuned.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back. We are so pleased to have our next guest, Michelle McCune. Thank you for joining us, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell me how long you've been teaching for just art altogether.
Yeah, well, I have been at Francis House Central High School for 17 years.
Okay.
And I've taught at some other schools about 5 years before that. So,
all right. So what made you want to get into art?
Well, I've always really enjoyed creating art, and you know, it's kind of one of those things you sort of keep coming back to it year after year and time after time, and so then you think, maybe I should really get into that. Yeah. and I really so enjoy working with others, and so it just kind of lent itself nicely to teaching art.
Okay. Well, what school did you go to for college-wise?
Yeah, I went to undergraduate at Drury College, or Drury University now, and then I have a Master's of Fine Art from the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville.
Yeah,
So,
was it well worth it, all of that,
Oh,
all
most
that
definitely.
education? Yeah?
Yes.
So you told me about, you were teaching your art history class, so tell me about that.
Yeah, I teach an AP Art History course, and it is probably one of my most difficult classes to teach, but it's probably one of the classes I love the most because it's very challenging, and I really have to study just as much as the kids do.
Wow.
Every time that I work with it, because there's just new information, new things that I discover about the artwork, and there's always different ways of teaching it, and I'm always trying new ways to help the students understand it better, and because there's a lot of information.
Definitely.
A lot of work. So it's just a great class, and I think it's really good for us to understand where art came from,
of course,
and then we can now understand where it's going, and I think it's good for the students to see those steps and those progressions.
Before they do anything else, they got to know where it came from.
Yeah,
I mean, and that you're so dedicated to learn as much as the students do. That's great, because most teachers are like, here's a paper, do your thing. And it's like, oh, I got to grade this paper. It's like, well, you gave us the paper. So that's really cool that you're so dedicated, because I think it would be great to have a teacher that's like that, especially in high school. It's good for those students to do that. And do they love the class?
Well, I think it's a difficult course.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But I do think that I have a lot of students that will text me, or they'll Facebook or something, and they'll say, I just saw this Picasso that I've learned about in the class, and I just went to this art museum, and I think part of the course is I want to really give them good information, but I also want them to feel comfortable around art, all kinds of art, because it can be very elitist, and you can feel like when you go into an art museum, you don't know what you're looking at. So I think with this course, I think the students really understand more what they're seeing and feeling comfortable around that.
That's wonderful. I wish I had an art class like that. We just had intro to art, and you painted a couple things, you drew a couple things, you made a clay sculpture. That was about it.
Oh, well, that's still important.
No, it is. But I love history. Like I was telling you, I adore history. It's one of my favorite things to learn about. I could sit and listen to art history for a million years. Like, it's so fun. But is that one of your favorite classes that you like to teach?
Well, most definitely. But I also really love all my classes. It's really hard to choose. I hate to put them in an order.
Oh, I'm sure.
I also teach printmaking and then graphic design, and I do think that those two classes really work nicely together because they're very graphic in nature. And printmaking, we have a really wonderful press that the students create their prints on, and we use the computers to kind of aid our designs. And then, of course, in graphic design, I adore Photoshop. Like, that's really a program that I continually learn about also. I mean, it is just so immense that I enjoy showing the students different ways of working. And really, when you're working with a computer, it's much like a pencil or a paintbrush. It's really just another tool. And I tell them that there's all kinds of ways of doing the same thing when you're working in Photoshop or Illustrator or any of the graphic programs, and they just have to find their way. So I can show them one way, and then maybe I might show them another way, and then they can show me a way, and it's really the best way to create. Yeah,
especially in this technological age that we have. I mean, everything is Photoshop, everything is Creative Cloud, everything is technological, computers, send it to me PDF, that's it.
Right.
So that makes sense, which is good that you guys have such a great curriculum.
Yeah.
And so I heard you're doing a change for your curriculum for your digital, your graphic design class.
Yes. So we are now, it now is called Digital Art and Design DAD. Which I don't know if I was real happy about that. It should be Mom, but that's okay. But it's Digital Art and Design, and the idea is that we're really encouraging more photography, digital photography, and also I encourage my students to use original photography in their artwork, so that they're not just pulling things from the internet in terms of copyright and all that. And I just think it's so much more their work when they've taken the photo and they started from the beginning. We're also going to do a lot more animation and a lot more film in this course, and some new media, which should be fun, and actually setting up some installations. And so, it's still Photoshop, it's still Illustrator, it's still Flash. We're still using the Creative Suite, but we're trying to get the work out there a little bit more, and we do projections and things that are a little bit more contemporary. Okay,
so tell me about how it felt to see Lindy, I'm sorry. How it felt to see Haley win a Lindy.
Oh gosh, it was so neat. I was so proud of her, and she looked so pretty, and she just she worked really. It was really interesting. Haley had a whole other video that she had been working on for a really long time, and it was wonderful. But she just didn't feel like it had come together. So it's almost like she had to take that journey through that video to get to the one that was the winner at the Lindy's. And it was just so well done and so well edited. Part of the graphic design aspect of it is you can create it, but then you have to go in and you edit it, and that's really the art of it in the end, because she had to go in and figure out, what is this going to now look like? How am I going? What speed is it going to be? What kind of touch-ups do I need to do? What kind of music is? I mean, that's all. It's just all one big deal, and she really pulled it together. It was really well done.
It's amazing work, and she's produced such amazing work. And I mean, she has an amazing teacher like you, so that's amazing. That everything's amazing. I'm so happy that you guys have that opportunity. So
well, they're sure a lot of fun. I mean, I so enjoy the students, and they teach me a lot. And so every year, I just feel like I get better and better because of them. And I'm so amazed every year at how well they do and how mature they are, and that they the way that they see the world. I think it's great. I really feel very positive about our future.
That's great. That's a good thing to hear too.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for coming in and talking with us today. So up next, we're going to look at a couple of videos made by the graphic design students at Francis Howell Central. It's so great to see more and more high schoolers submitting their incredible work to the Lindy's. You too can submit your work to the Lindy Awards next year. So for more information, go to lindenwood.edu. And a special thanks to Haley and Michelle for coming out today and talking about what they love to do with us. Again, I'm your host, Bree McLemore, and we'll see you next time.